Everybody. Welcome to the EU Info Day for EU Business Hub Next Mission at Semicon Japan 2026 that will be had in Tokyo this December. My name is Kim and I'm the program coordinator from the EU Business Hub. I'm here today with my colleagues Antoine and Elena, who will introduce themselves as we progress through the presentation. So regarding the agenda of today's presentation, we will first start with an overview of the program. Then we will dive into some market trends and market opportunities in the semiconductor industry in Japan. Then we'll introduce the details of the business mission itself. In this presentation, we will also explain the eligibility criteria and also how you can apply to the business mission. Finally, we will provide you some tips and tricks for a successful application, and we will conclude the session with a Q&A. So don't hesitate to raise questions at any point during the presentation. You can also leave them in the chat below, and we will make our best to reply. Or you can also wait until the end of the presentation to ask any questions you might have. Next slide, please. So let's start with a brief historical overview of the program. As you can see from the left to the right, the EU Business Hub is a long-standing program for B2B cooperation between the European Union and Asia. It started in Japan in the 90s as a pilot program and then evolved into the Gateway to Japan program and now to the program that not only focuses on Japan, but also the Republic of Korea. So you may wonder, what is the EU Business Hub? So it is an EU-funded program that supports EU small and medium-sized enterprises and startups in 3 relevant sectors. You have the green and low-carbon technologies, digital solutions, and healthcare and medical equipment. So the aim of the program is over the duration of 4 years, so between 2024 and 2027, to organize 10 business missions to Japan and 10 business missions to the Republic of Korea. And each time we will allow 50 innovative EU companies to participate. So if we translate the program into numbers, it would be 3 sectors, 2 markets, and 20 business missions organized in total. Here you can have an overview of the timeline for the business mission to Japan. As you can see, the next one is Semicon Japan 2026 that will be held in Tokyo from the 7th to the 11th of December this year. What is worth mentioning is that the application deadline is the 11th of September 2026. So we will then communicate the selection results by the end of September. In 2027, the previous slide. Thank you. In 2027, we plan to have 2 other missions in the green and healthcare sectors. And so if you're only interested in applying to the digital solution sector, which is the one in purple, Semicon Japan is the last one that we are organizing. So similar to Japan, here you can see the timeline for business missions to the Republic of Korea. The next mission that you can apply to is the Korea Electronics Show 2026 that will be held from the 12th to the 16th October this year. The application deadline is the 21st of June, so quite soon. So if you would like to join that mission, please apply as soon as possible on our main website. So now, moving forward, here are the benefits for the participating companies. This is a very important slide, so I would take the occasion to really explain this in detail. Hopefully some of you will benefit from a range of benefits that we offer. So the aim of our mission is to provide you with the information and know-how required in order to have the most successful business mission. When it comes to strategic coaching, this means providing you with briefings on doing business in Japan, market intelligence information in these specific sectors, as well as on-site industry and sectoral briefings while you are already in Japan. Another benefit of the program that we offer is B2B matchmaking support. It includes scheduling prearranged business matchmaking meetings and to help you prepare your schedule for B2B meetings. This means that once you're selected, we have a dedicated team, a matchmaking team active in Japan that will take care of you in the sense that we'll make sure to get to know your company first and your products as well in order to tailor the business meetings that you might have so that once you get to Japan, you already have some interesting business meetings for you. And once you will be at the trade fair, you can build on these meetings to have more opportunities. Another component that you might benefit from our business mission is actually exhibiting at Semicon Japan 2026. So there will be 3 days of exhibition. You will be able to be in the EU pavilion, meaning you will actually have a physical booth to showcase your solutions and your products. You'll also be able to benefit from the EU branding in order to attract more visitors. We also offer logistical support, such as helping you with booking the hotel, networking receptions. We also have interpretation services while you are at the trade fair in order to make sure that there's no language barrier between you and the Japanese company. We'll also take care of creating a catalog, which will showcase the 50 companies with your products, and we will be able to distribute the catalog both online but also in printed versions at the fair. And when it comes to the hotel accommodation, not only do we offer help with the booking of a hotel next to the trade fair, but we also offer financial coverage of the hotel. So the program covers up to 1,000 euros, and that includes the 4 nights and for 1 room per company during the week of the business mission at our partner hotel. And also as part of a financial support, we also offer support if you would like to purchase customized services. So customized services are all of those services that you can purchase prior to the business mission to enhance your participation. So for instance, you can purchase booth decorations to embellish your booth and to make it more attractive to the Japanese counterparts. You can also purchase printing and translation services that we offer through our dedicated Japanese vendors. So all of these customized services will be reimbursed at an 80% rate up to 1,000 euros. So the only thing that is left out is the price of the flight, as that is envisioned for the company to bear. So now I will pass it on to my colleague Antoine, who will present the market opportunities in the semiconductor in Japan.
Thank you, Kemen. So I'm Antoine Bena. I'm from the EU program. I'm based in Japan, and I'm going to walk you through opportunities in the semiconductor market in Japan. So as an introduction, what we can say is that Japan is one of the world's key semiconductor ecosystem. This is because Japan plays a critical role across the value chain, so be it in manufacturing equipment, materials, components, factory automation, and economic ecosystem support. So here the key point for the audience is that Japan is an essential enabler of the global semicon industry. So I will walk you through the different part of this slide. Let me just start by giving you a sector overview. The first one subsector that you can see and we are going to zoom on is the manufacturing equipment and tool. In this subsector, Japan is a major global player. So you have companies such as Tokyo Electron, Nikon, Canon, and others who are central to the industry. And the segment is accounting for approx 30 to 40% of the global market. In terms of trends, what we can say is that there is a move towards more advanced nodes, including the 5 nanometers and below. And there is a growing importance of EUV related tools. In terms of challenge, so there is a strong competition and with some high R&D cost. So all in all, on this subsector, what we can say is that there is good opportunity for EU companies with niche and enabling technologies rather than trying to compete with the giant of the subsectors. If we go to the second one, which is materials and chemicals, so Japan is even more dominant. So you have companies such as Shin-Etsu Chemicals, Sumco, GSR, TOK, which are global leaders. And the growth here is being driven by EU materials and materials for 3D packaging. The challenge are related to supply chain disruptions and strong competition in the APAC zone, notably with South Korea. But we can say that companies with advanced material expertise have a good opportunity on the market, and Japan remains very attractive for collaboration. Let's go to the third one, which is component and subsystems. So here you have companies such as UVAC, Oriba, Hamamatsu Photonics, and they are major suppliers at the global level. So as you may all know, but as chip manufacturing is becoming more and more advanced, there is need for precision systems. So I'm thinking about optics, sensors, vacuum systems, and this is becoming even more important. So I would say that this is one of the most promising areas for deep tech European firms, because Japan is valuing precision, reliability, and engineering quality. Go to the next node. So this is the factory automation and environmental system. So here Japan is one of the leading country as well. You have giant companies such as Mitsubishi Electric, Omron, Yaskawa, and the main trends are related to AI, IoT, and sustainability-focused automation. So what we can say as well regarding this part of the segment is that semiconductor fabs are under pressure to become more and more efficient, and as well more and more energy conscious. So the main challenge is the integration, especially with the older manufacturing systems. But we can say that for European companies with solution in industrial software, energy efficiency, predictive maintenance, or greener manufacturing, there is a strong opportunity in Japan. The next one is software and engineering. So Japan has a smaller position here compared to the US, so it's less leading than the former ones. But you still have companies such as Synopsys Japan, Kens Japan that are active. But we can say transparently that the global EDA market is remaining US dominated. But still, we see the rise of AI, machine learning-driven design tools that create rooms for special engineering. And that gives a place for software players, especially those who are offering niche or complementary solutions. The last one, now there is the ecosystem support, and this is done through industry bodies such as JETA, government agencies, leading universities, and we can see there is an increased government focus on the domestic semiconductor production and resilience. So that creates a very supportive environment for long-term partnerships, especially with foreign companies. Okay, so while I've been saying all these details regarding the subsectors of the semicon market in Japan, that means that the key points for you to keep is that Europe and Japan are highly complementary. Japan is bringing, I would say, manufacturing excellence, advanced materials, and industrial precision. And we can say that European is complementary because it brings strengths in research, specialty materials, power semiconductors, automotive technologies, and process innovation. So this is the reason why actually collaboration is very important. We can already see this, and you can see that on the right on site. there is already some existing collaboration. I'm thinking about joint ventures, technology sharing, R&D, supply chain. And we also see future potential opportunities, especially for EU companies in the domain of AI, 5G, consumer technologies, sustainabilities, and automotive semiconductors. So this is very encouraging, I would say, and I will invite all of you to give a shot to the Japan semicon market for your growth. Especially, we see two examples. You have two success stories which are on the bottom left of the slides. So you have one with Soitec and Shin, it's a chemical who work together to support the global adoption of energy efficient SOE wafers for 5G, IoT, and automotive application. And we also have the EV group and Canon, who partners on advanced wafer bonding and lithography, which help push forward 3D semiconductor packaging for next generation chips. So if I give a conclusion and key takeaway on this is that Japan is not only a market, it's a strategic potential partner for European semiconductors. It's true that maybe it might not be the easiest market for foreign companies, but we can say it is maybe one of the most strategic. And that for EU SMEs and startups with differentiated technology, there is opportunity not just to sell into Japan, but to become a real trusted part of the high-value semiconductor ecosystem. Okay, so that concludes the presentation regarding the semiconductor market in Japan. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Antoine. So now I'll jump in. My name is Selena. I'm part of the European team here at the EU Business Hub, and I'll be giving you the full overview of what the Semicon Japan 2026 business mission entails. So, as you can see, the Semicon 2026 business mission will take place, as my colleague Kemen said, from the 7th to the 11th of December 2026 in Tokyo, Japan. You'll be able to benefit from tailored coaching support, exhibit at the EU Pavilion of Semicon for 3 full days, a targeted promotion for your enterprise, 3 days of B2B matchmaking sessions with local counterparts, and network with local stakeholders at the trade fair and reception. So the Semicon Japan 2026 is actually the 3rd edition of the EU Business Hub we do at this trade fair. And the businesses that we are looking for in specific sectors are the ones present here on the screen, even though, as the title says, is mostly focused on semiconductors. We are also looking for companies that align with the following points, such as product and services, front-end and back-end equipment such as connectors, pumps, cables, sensors, etc., manufacturing and inspection equipment, metal processing, cutting and plating, and surface treatment. So those are the main niches this business mission focuses on, but again, it is open for the full semiconductor niche. This is more or less the timeline. The recruitment process will last. As you can see, we closed the deadline for application the 11th of September, after which you should have submitted the expression of interest and the application. So if you want to participate, you have to remember it is a 2-step process. So first of all, you have to complete the first questionnaire, which is the expression of interest, and the second one, which is the application form. So after you have submitted both, you'll be considered as a possible participant for this business mission. At the end of September, after summer, we'll communicate the selection of the selected participants, and mid-October you will have the pre-departure meeting and online session where we will give you all of the pertinent information and market tendencies on the sector before you depart to Japan. And of course, from the 7th to the 11th of December 2026, you'll be at Semicon Japan 2026. So the business mission agenda once you land on Tokyo will look something like this. So of course, the Monday 7th of December, you will be arriving, and from 5 to 6, you'll get the welcome and networking reception that we try to do in all of our business mission, just so you get acquainted with the other European participants and you can decompress a little bit after the trip. So on December 8th, Tuesday, you'll have the briefing session and study tour or site visits, where from 9 to 12, you'll get a briefing session on the Business Mission Week, a presentation with guest speakers, and a meet and greet with your mentors. And from 1 to 5, you'll have the different on-site visits. From Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, so 9th, 10th, and 11th, you'll be exhibiting from 10 to 5 on the Semicon Pavilion with all of your other European colleagues. And on the last day, from 4 to 5, you'll have a post-business mission debriefing where we hope you can give us your feedback, any comments, and on how to improve your vision of how the business mission went, and all of the little details that you gather after a whole week of exhibiting. Even though this is how we present it, it is subjected to changes, especially since it's so far away, but overall, this is how it would usually look. So this is a mock-up of what the EU Pavilion will look with all of the companies where you'll be presenting. As you can see, it is branded with the program's logo and the program's color. And here you can have a more realistic view of how it looks on the trade fair itself. As you can see, each company will get their booth alongside the other European companies. So, as I mentioned before, Semicon 2026 is the third edition we visit with the program. And as you can see here, we've left you a little compilation of previous success stories and YouTube interviews we've done to previous participants, both from 2024 and 2025. So if you want to know a little bit more about how this business mission usually goes and what you can what you can expect, please feel free to check out our YouTube channel and the success stories we have on our website, so you can read about previous participants, and of course you can always feel free to get to know them via LinkedIn or connect with them. So who can participate on this business mission? So the program aims for EU SMEs and startups to be the ones participating, but there are certain eligibility criteria you have to fulfill in order to be an option to be selected to participate. So the first point, of course, is having existed for 5 years in the case of SMEs, and 3 years of financial figures being able to be presented. And for startups, you have had to exist for 3 years and demonstrate 2 years of financial figures. Secondly, very important too, you need to be entirely or majority EU owned and have the headquarters, the company headquarters, within the European Union territory. Third, it is necessary for you to be active and operational in one of the economic sectors covered by the program. Of course, as we mentioned, digital solution, green and low carbon technologies, or healthcare and medical equipment sectors, either as a producer, a subcontractor, or an R&D engineering company. Consultancy are not eligible for the program and cannot participate. Fourth eligibility criteria we have is to have a proven track record of international business cooperation outside the European Union. And next point is to have sufficient turnover and number of people employed to successfully enter the target market. And last but not least, of course, we need you to have a solid business strategy for entering the Japanese and the Republic of Korea market. Of course, all of the information you will be able to fulfill on the expression of interest and application form. So the more information you can provide us, the better for our team of experts to assess your company eligibility. So how to apply, which is the most important part. So this is how the business mission cycle goes. As you can see here, there are quite a few steps. They're not so difficult as they might seem at first glance. So first of all, of course, we need you to register on our website where we do have all of our business mission and select the one you want to participate. As my colleague Kemen has mentioned, we have another business mission open right now on our website. So after registration, you get to choose which one you want to apply and participate. Of course, after that, you have to complete the expression of interest. At this point, our team will check all of the eligibility criteria to see if you comply and you get to the next phase to send the full application, which is the next step. And after the application is complete, the selection process starts. And out of everyone that has applied to the business mission, 50 companies will get selected. Again, the communication results will be presented on our website. You will receive an email if you have been selected or waitlisted. So even though if you don't get chosen on the first round, there's always the possibility of being chosen because another company declines. And after that, the mission preparation starts. Of course, all the tailored support we can give you, you'll be receiving, like again, the matchmaking coaching, logistical support, you'll get to meet your personal coach. And as mentioned on the previous slides, you'll get the departure meeting with all the market information. You'll get the business mission itself on December and the post-event follow-up. So first of all, as I mentioned, the registration, and here is what you'll get once you enter our website. So this is what it looks like. You get the banner, all the buttons of get started and join us. You can click on either of those, or of course you can scan the QR code you have on screen and it will take you directly to register. So when you click on register, you have to complete the classic fields we usually ask on every single website: email address, password, contact person, and the country you're coming from. Again, after that, you'll get to complete the expression of interest, which you have to choose from the business mission that are currently open on the website. Sometimes we have one open, sometimes we have multiple of them. So right now we have two, and you just have to complete your company details, contact person detail, business activities, and your motivations to travel to Japan or the Republic of Korea to participate on a business mission. Again, it's really important that the more information you can give us, the better, since you have to take into account this is the first glance. Our assessment experts get to see your company. They don't know nothing about it. So the more information and the more detail you can give us, the better idea we get to see if you could be a good fit to participate in this business mission. After that, it comes the eligibility decision. Again, as I mentioned before, you'll get an email if you are invited to participate, and if not, if your company is deemed not eligible, you can always ask us for feedback. If you think that you should have been made eligible and you do not understand why you are not able to participate, please do not hesitate to reach out. We love you to give you feedback on why you have not been selected for this mission. And even though you are not eligible for this specific business mission, you might be eligible for another one upcoming in the future. So it's not like a full-on negative on the program. So it depends on the sectors, on certain details. So again, if you are not eligible and you don't know why, please contact our team and we'll be glad to offer you support in this area. Again, something I want to really remark is that the expression of interest is not the last step of the process. It's a two-step application thing. So you have the expression of interest. After that, we check your eligibility. And secondly, you have to complete the application. Please mark this really, really well. It's really important for you to complete the two questionnaires. So again, the application is the next step. You'll get to log in on your members area and complete all of the information the questionnaire asks for. Again, it is assessed by independent expert using predefined criteria, so it's all the same for everyone. And all of the information, again, the more you can give us, the better. Also, it's something worth mentioning that to prevent late cancellation in case of selection, you'll have to provide a 1,000 euro deposit after confirming participation, and it will be fully refunded. This is some money that won't be touched, won't be used for anything, and you'll get it back after the business mission, but it's just in case to cover late cancellation after confirmation, when hotel support, logisticals have been confirmed, and some cost has been already extended. So it's also something worth mentioning. What you'll find on the application form, it will be more information about the company, of course, your business profile, your business activity, the international strategy you want to take upon arriving to Japan in this case, and of course, your participant details. And after this, I'll give the floor back to my colleague Kemen, which she'll be explaining to you some tips and tricks for a successful application. And yeah, hopefully it's useful for you.
Thank you, Elena. So now let's dive into the tips and tricks. I really urge you to pay attention because it is really important to have a successful EOI and also application. So first of all, how to make a successful EOI. So an EOI is an expression of interest, and it is the first step of the application. So first of all, you need to manifest your interest in the business mission, and it's very important that you provide as many details as possible. This will help us to understand if your company is a good fit for the program and also for the specific business mission that you applied for. If you have any questions during the process, we encourage you to reach out to your country's recruitment cluster leader that we will show you their contact detail later in the presentation. Also, as mentioned previously, feel free to ask direct feedback if you have been deemed non-eligible for the business mission that you applied for. We're always open and also transparent with the decision making. So we'd be happy to redirect you to a business mission that is more suitable for your company and for your solutions. So how to make a successful application? Well, very similar to what just has been said for the EOI, we do ask you to also be very specific and also descriptive in the application stage. So after you're being made eligible, you're invited then to make an application. So the application is the formal application that is being required, meaning that when you wrote the EOI, that is not part of the full application. It is very important for you in this step to provide information on your company's go-to-market strategy, and also especially detailing why you want to choose the specific target markets. Obviously, in this case, we really want you to explain in detail why you want to expand to Japan and why you want to further expand your business there. And for instance, if you are doing an application for the Republic of Korea, then to really target your application to the Korean market and to explain to us why your company really wants to go to Korea. So the 3 points that we want to highlight here are, first of all, the target audience. So what is your target audience? What kind of companies are you interested in meeting? Are there any specific stakeholders that you've identified? At this stage, we don't ask you, for instance, the names of the companies that you would like to meet, but we do ask you to do some research about what you want to get out of the business mission. and also what type of company that you want to meet, what type of stakeholder that you're interested in meeting for the first time, or that you have met before, but you want to continue meeting during this business mission. And then when it comes to the competitive edge, what we ask you is to provide us details on what makes your company unique and competitive to other Asian companies or other European companies. Like, why should we choose you? Why should you come to exhibit at Semicon Japan 2026? And finally, when it comes to the target market, so why choosing Japan, why you'd like to attend the business mission in Japan over the one in the Republic of Korea. It's good that you explain this in detail and also let us know if you have been to Japan before or you'd like to continue going to Japan and if you had previous experience there or not. And so when it comes to the don'ts, it's basically to avoid any general descriptions of your go-to-market or international strategy, of the target audience and of the business activities and profile. Here, we really ask you to ensure that the numbers that you provide are being consistent throughout the application. We will ask you some numbers of the employees, the revenues, and so we really would like the numbers to be consistent throughout the application. So that is really important for us to have an overview of your company, of your solutions, and the size of your company, and all of that. So so here are the do's and the don'ts. Yeah. So here we have an example of one of the questions from the application. So here we're taking the example that is a question asking you to provide a short description of your international business strategy, especially with regards to the target market of this business mission. So in this case, we describe the overarching ambition of your company and the relevance of the international expansion of your product, of your solution, on a specific view of the target market. So you should be able to provide a detailed rationale behind choosing the specific target market. So if, for example, you apply to both business missions in Japan and Korea, the application format will be the same, but it will be two different missions. So really in each application, try to specify one, why the application for Japan is targeting Japan and the other one is for Korea. Because the reason why we like to mention this is in the past we've had applications where the companies have like mixed up the information that they provided. So let's try to avoid that. And also, yeah, so just try to provide us really like detailed information on your product. So as mentioned previously, to avoid generic descriptions or definition of your international business strategy, and really try to also explain us the rationale behind why you want to join us. Yeah. And so here, as you can see, you have different European countries, and each country belongs to a specific cluster. So if you have any questions on the EOIs or also about the application, or if you would like to require more information on the program, feel free to reach out to your to the cluster by email. Next slide, please. Your feedback is also very important to us, so feel free to scan the QR code and provide us feedback on the session of today. And so here you can also find the general email address of us. So it's the support@eubusinesshub.eu. You can find you can send us your questions in this mailbox as well. And you can also find our page on LinkedIn, where we regularly post photos and also information of the business missions that are happening right now, and also the ones that will be happening in the near future. And regarding the information for the applications, for the EOIs, here you can find all of that on our website at eubusinesshub.eu.